Go live, go live, go live. And we should be live. Should be. And we are. So,
Time!
Are we live?
what's up, ladies
Are
and
we
gentlemen of YouTube? Cider Report back for a video. Yeah. So we had a debate last night, Leo, didn't we?
Yeah, we had something. We had something.
We did.
Yeah,
we did.
There
we
was
did
a shit
something.
storm.
Yeah. Look, it was. Yeah, it was. I mean, like, I still do think so. As soon as the debate ended, right? I had my co-host Kevin, Leo. You had seen him and everything else like that in the stream beforehand. Yeah, so like he was just kind of off, and as soon as we had left the room, the Zoom call after the debate actually ended, like he was like, "Dude, like you did fantastic," and I was like, "You know what? I actually don't like. I don't know." Like in the moment, like as soon as it ended, like I didn't actually think that we did, or that I did. Sorry, I won't say we because I mean, like Leo, dude, you had facts fucking rattled off like that. But yeah, I just didn't really think that I did like that, like as well a job as I think I could have done. But no, like Kevin was, you know, like he was massively, like he was reassuring and stuff. And after I watched it back, I was like, actually, you know what? No, yeah, I
think you did pretty damn well. You
I
were
did a
really
better job.
Yeah, you were really pushing the whole. I guess you could say more of the moral side of why socialism is just better than capitalism. That it's better for more people. People are capable of engaging in a you know a better lifestyle. Whereas I was handling like you know some of this more factual side of it, which is what you need in a good debate. Somebody that can take one aspect of the debate and focus on that, and then your partner can take the other aspect of it and focus on that. I think that we worked pretty well together there.
Yeah, I do as well, man. I do as well. Yeah, so there was a little bit of kind of background drama. We covered a little bit of it in the stream yesterday before the debate actually happened. So it was originally kind of, you know, scheduled as that it was going to be Smokey, but there was a power out. And not going to say anything else, but yeah, basically Maddox had to kind of step in at the last minute. Now me and Leo had originally pitched this to CJ Cox and to Maddox, but Maddox originally, like, he didn't want to do it originally. So when James obviously reached out and said, you know, that like this is gonna happen, and you know, like would you care to step in? You know, because Smokey's like going through some stuff. And when he obviously came back and said, "Yeah, I'm not going to lie, man, I was a little bit surprised." I was not.
Like,
yeah,
you know, I feel like Maddox just didn't want to leave CJ hanging. That's what I think it was. He was like, "Well, CJ's had this planned. I don't want to leave CJ hanging. I'll jump in with him."
Yeah. So I do actually have a shared screen backstage. It's obviously not on right now, but it's kind of the last little bit of the debate, like before the Q&A, and like it's the bit that I think that we did the absolute best in, because it was unfortunate. I don't really know what happened with CJ. I don't know like whether he went to the toilet or whether his laptop crashed or whether something fucking happened or whatever. But basically, like, me and you just kind of bet the shit out of John, just live on here.
And I loved every time you'd interrupt. You're just like, listening ears. I expect you to do the talking. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't pull that one out.
Wonderful production the way. And he left, everything fucked up, and it was only used. I says whenever he left, it was only used to on screen.
Yeah,
because he left the Zoom call. It all shifted around.
Yeah, because that's actually the freeze frame that I have it on right now. Is just me and Leo kind of like front and center in the screen, and then just like Maddox's arm, and then a bit of James's arm, then on the other side, and it's just So it did kind of fuck about with the whole Zoom call and whatever James has it kind of set up in the background.
What I loved is when both of them were given their intros, and I genuinely couldn't help it, but we were both just laughing. Dude, when CJ mentioned Ayn Rand, I lost it. I'm like, holy shit.
Dude, when Maddox brought up fucking Maggie Thatcher, oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh, there was a
Fuck
little
me
piece.
when I
There was a
heard
little.
Maggie's
There was a little piece of me that died when when that happened. Like, I just don't know how you unironically bring up fucking Maggie Thatcher in a fucking. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how that happens.
But when CJ mentioned Ayn Rand, I'm just like, oh god, no. Like, let's be honest. There a lot of conservative economists don't even have a lot of respect for her because her, like, if you were to take a pile of dog shit and like read it, you would get more out of it than reading Ayn Rand's books. Just put it that way.
So yeah, so Mathpig, obviously you know were in the live chat and stuff like that, and I had seen that you were kind of live chatting the whole thing. Like, what was your kind of takeaways from it? Like, what was your first impressions or whatever?
Screaming. Lots of screaming at the screen. Lots and lots of screaming at the screen. That's just why I don't go to modern day debate that often. I find that I have to spend a lot of time screaming at the screen, going, Jacobs! Jacobs! But no, you did very well, as you said before, man. Leo had plenty of facts. There was nothing that was disputable there. Like, but it didn't matter. They were just there. They were screaming. They were shouting. They didn't listen to you. They waited for their turn to speak.
Yep.
There was no debate.
Yeah.
I don't think there was an actual debate. It was just waiting for turns to talk. And then when it went to the open plan, it was a shit show.
Oh man! All I'm saying is, I hope Vought mentioned something about him having watched that last night. Like, yeah, the debate on socialism last night, that was a shit show. Like, I don't even care what his opinion is. I just want to know that the motherfucker watched it, but he probably didn't.
Yeah, I mean, look, the chances are slim, but look, if he did, you know, like obviously I would, yeah. What the fuck was I going to say? What the fuck was I going to say?
Well, I was going to ask you really quick, Stephen. How long was it? Because I kicked off the open discussion. How far did I get into it before Maddox jumped in? Like, what, maybe 20 seconds?
Into the open discussion.
Yeah. Because remember, I kicked this off and then he jumped in because he had called socialism like the government running something, and I just said that's just wrong. And then he tried to say that he didn't say it. I got it like maybe 15 or 20 seconds out, and he jumps in.
Yeah, like he you know, it's part of his tactic, like that. As soon as the kind of open discussion part, you know, happens, that he just can't help himself but just fucking jump in. You know, he can't help himself but just...
He wants to trigger you, wants to get you in and off.
He got triggered though.
Dude, he got triggered fucking so fucking hard, dude. Yeah.
It was fucking hilarious. That I think was one of the golden points of him getting triggered.
Oh yeah, definitely. What was I going? Yeah, so I think I'll just kind of just like watch just a little bit of it, just the last little bit that I had, you know, lined up and stuff, because I look,
I stayed in the same spot, but you jumped like a person, two people over.
Yeah. For some reason, I am now CJ Cox. Apparently,
you capitalist.
Apparently, look, I know that it's very self-flating and stuff like this, but you know what? I personally think that we did a bang up fucking job, and you know what? We should kind of self-flate a little bit, especially
Before you unpause that, can you screenshot that? That's a great shot of you. It's just...
Yeah, your face that's a good one. That really is.
Look, but yeah. I have a very expressive face. Like, basically
you also have stupid hair that you play with too much.
The thought that is in my head is written on my face. It's just always, you know. So
he did comment on you playing with your hair as well, did he not?
Oh yeah. He said that that it was ironic for me to talk about someone listening when I was too busy fixing my hair or something like that. Which I wanted to say, at least I can fix my hair, but you know, it was even, you know, didn't quite go that low. You know, didn't quite go there. But
I did want to say I do think we did a good job for whatever the fuck that was last night. But I think we held our own. I think we did a good job.
Yeah. Okay,
Dave
so
says CJ looks an awful lot like Stephen. Yes.
yeah, apparently, and CJ looks a lot like a serial killer. So I don't really know what that says about me. But anyway, let's indulge in the self-felation.
Something entirely different. Do you have an argument against the socialized healthcare system, Maddox? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Can you present it? Because you didn't the last time.
Well, I mean, when you look at what is happening in the UK as an example with National Health, they closed 30%
Wait,
of their
what?
hospitals.
That system is greatly successful.
Really? They closed 30% of their hospitals 2 years ago.
Okay, that's a result of the
and
government.
And the National Health,
But
National Health
why?
is bankrupt.
Tell them why.
Go Google it.
Sabotage.
Go Google it. The head of the healthcare ministry.
Why would I Google it when I could talk to people that live in fucking England, dude?
Okay. Oh, really? Okay. Did they? Did the doctors? Did the doctors in the United Kingdom go on strike? Yes or no? Yes, they did. Okay,
John,
if you don't
tell
know this,
them
then
why.
you should Google it.
Tell the live chat why that happened.
Pay was one of the major issues. The lack of technology, that they were being overworked and underpaid. Hello, what's the average salary of a doctor in the United Kingdom?
Okay, so I asked you to tell the live chat why, and instead
what
of
is
telling
it?
them why, you lie to them.
I'm lying to them? How about you Google it right now?
But yeah, because that's not the fucking reason why. So that's why you lie.
So you just called me a
Why
liar.
would
Google it and
somebody
prove that I'm.
Why would we go to Google when we can talk to people that live in the country that deal with healthcare?
So there's public statements from the ministry, from the government on the in line with these facts. So
now we trust the government.
Leo, that was so. I loved that statement from you. I
now
absolutely
we
loved
trust
that
the
statement from
government,
you. Yeah, because they're all like so big on like, oh no, that
Anti-government.
we don't trust the government to run this program or this or like that program or anything else like that. But when it comes to the government releasing stats about a government program, oh, now we trust the government.
I just want Dave to like let me know what if there was actually any facts on what Maddox said, because I think like prima facie some of the statements he might have made have some truth, but like you were trying to point out, the reasons why are definitely not what Maddox thinks they are.
Yeah, like why it was important for me to say to Maddox, to like tell the audience why, because the why matters, like why it failed, or that like, X amount of hospitals kind of closed down and stuff like that. Yeah, the why matters. And that's why he wasn't necessarily, he wasn't gifting that information. And so you kind of had to just pull it out of him. But, we have Tusk in the audience as well. So he's in Scotland, so he could probably tell us as well. And obviously Dave then, as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're all different over here.
One thing that I have heard is that the Tory government has been doing a lot over like the last at least decade to sabotage the NHS.
There was a thing come out last week. They're going to be taking control, possibly going back to taking control of it government-based rather than letting the doctors decide on what's going on.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
Yeah, well, I'm giving it power to be able to, I think, implemented, countrywide as well. Like, so, again, Dave would know more than that. It was just something I read in passing.
yeah.
But I should Google it.
Yeah, I should Google it.
Yeah, we should Google it.
Dude, but
Actually,
Maddox has
I know
bitched at
you're in
people
the
for
middle of
Googling
writing
things.
the comment. Dave, just stop because we can just Google it, so it's fine.
But they're all different over here because we're split up. Like my system's different than England. It's different from Scotland. We all have our own little governments.
The one thing is that I've seen Maddox bitch at people for Googling things on his stream, but now he's telling us to Google things like... Oh shit! I just
Anyway, let's burst on.
So the National Health that is run, the socialist government-run healthcare organization that says they're bankrupt. You're claiming that when this is like the surgeon. This is like the
socialist.
He did.
You don't
Did
think
you just say that? What?
the National Health?
the
National Healthcare. Hold on, we're talking about healthcare, aren't we? Are we talking about healthcare? Yes or no?
It's
Yeah, we're talking about healthcare, but that doesn't mean that
Are we
England is a
talking about
fucking socialist
healthcare?
country, you donkey.
Are you saying that you're talking about
I
healthcare?
love
correct?
that.
You said socialist healthcare, did you not?
I said a socialized healthcare system.
Socialized.
So you don't. So hang on. So you don't think that the national healthcare system in the United Kingdom is a socialist healthcare system?
I didn't say
it's
that,
not.
dude. I
Okay,
said
then what
that
are you
England
laughing about
wasn't
then?
a socialized healthcare.
Are you suggesting NHS is not socialist healthcare?
I said that England was not a socialist country.
No. We talked about
That's
social
what I said.
healthcare. Is it socialist healthcare? That's what we were talking about. Were we not
it's
talking about
not.
healthcare? Yes or no?
Wait, hold on. Do all of the doctors own the hospitals that they work at?
No, we're talking about socialist healthcare.
Okay, then it's not socialist, is it? If the people working in the
changing the topic
don't
constantly.
no,
We talked about the
I'm not.
socialized healthcare system. And
Okay,
then
name
No, hang on,
a
hang on,
healthcare
hang
system
on.
that's not government run.
James should
hang
be
on.
jumping
So-
in and giving clarification. James should be jumping in right now and giving clarification. You
That
asked
is
him a
cool.
question. He fucked up and then he tried
Yeah.
to dig his hole to try and fix it, where James should have just jumped in and went, look, you were wrong. You said this. Stephen means this. Get the fuck on with it. Stop the screaming.
This is why we need Math Pig on MDD. Like,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, Maspig, you're a fucking mod in the Discord server, and you kind of like were, you know, incrementally.
I admin his Discord server. Like he lets
Yeah.
it run completely wild. He wants nothing to do with it. And the people whom I'm put in charge to mod it came to me there last week and were like, look, we can do nothing. James has just said to us he doesn't care. So I went right and took all the mods that's been there for a year and admined every one of them. They run it now. James has nothing to do with his Discord.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've heard
shit.
that too. I did want to say Tusk has already said that Maddox has lied. A third of community hospital beds have been lost, not 30% of hospitals.
Yeah, yeah.
He was arguing that because it's and the thing is, in a system like the UK or even Canada or Australia or like any system that's not the United States, it isn't government run healthcare. That's really not the right way to word it. It's a government funded healthcare, hence the term single payer. Government run is not an accurate term in describing it.
It may
And
be, though.
that's also not socialism either.
No, I said in the live chat last night about it. I was like, hit me up if you need a mod. And he was like, yeah, maybe, of course, yeah. And I was like, what? Do you not like my style? Sorry, that's all right then. That's fine. Oh, it's not like that, Maspig.
Oh, this was after the debate, was it? When he was kind of
This was during the debate. This was during the debate, right?
Oh,
And I'm sitting,
I think so.
I'm sitting on one side, right? And my mate was here in the house, right? Do you remember the one that asked what the difference between socialism? He actually asked me as well as communism, the army side of socialism. And that was like, right, okay, right. So I'm sitting there and I'm sitting over there and he's sitting here and we're watching it. And I was like, just tag James in the chat. Put in at modern day debate and say biddly biddly boo or fuck all or anything at all. Why? And I goes to prove a point. He's looking at the chat, not paying attention to the fucking debate that's happening.
That's what it is most times. Like he needs to have somebody. What he needs to do is bring in a moderator, and he does the producing, and then takes all the questions, and then has. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's that he's a really shitty moderator. It's that I think he's so focused on the chat and pulling in all the questions in the super chats that he's not. His ability to multitask moderating the debate with pulling in all the questions is just not good.
I told him in the live chat as well. I emailed him and we got him. If he was using the stuff that fucking Dave and we all use, it wouldn't be bouncing out like that. The most important comments would be coming up. Everything would be doing everything for him. Like this shit that's happening right now shouldn't be happening on a channel that had fucking 350 people watching at this stage. Like,
Yeah.
you know, 350 people watching. Probably 12,000 maybe will watch this back.
Yep.
It's already on over 3,000, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, within the first
Pretty sure it
hour after it finished live streaming, it was at
It's
like
on
1.5K.
3,388 views. Yeah.
Damn.
It's a sham. He just lets people run fucking wild. And he relies on the people to moderate themselves, which, again, Stephen's screenshot should be taken and saved. Fucking stop. Hold
Look at
on a
that.
minute.
He's just like, no.
Just no.
Did you hear me at the end when I pulled the box? I was just like, no.
Yeah.
I don't even
But
remember
there's
what was
Tusk said
said.
as well. Tusk's in the chat going, he doesn't watch it because it's shambolic. And it is. I was only there last night for you, Zeeds. It's like, mainly Stephen. He was an asshole. But, you know, I don't want to follow him.
Well, thank you anyway for kind of suffering through just to
I
cheer
do
us on.
appreciate that.
I didn't
That's
even
a true
mind.
friend.
I hear that Aaron Rowell got up and walked out of the Nathan Thompson one. Like that just shows you that someone like that is like, this has got too bad.
Nathan Thompson's just fucking so goddamn bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that guy. I want to debate him just to make him look, just so that I can make him look like the biggest fucking fool. He might not think he's a fool, but I know the audience will be like, yeah, this guy is dumber than what I thought, and his people already think he's really dumb. Like, I just want to ask him like really, really basic questions in like math and science, like that anybody should know. Like half of his arguments that he tries to bring up, like he mentioned something called the R value that has to do with insulation. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with the Earth being flat?
Some of them serfs just don't have a clue. There's that one that was floating about a year ago where he asked him, it may have been Nathan Thompson, what do all the angles in a triangle add up to? And he couldn't answer. And he was like, we're talking about right angle triangles here. And he was like, because the guy asked what the angles add up to an equilateral triangle. And he's like, we're talking about geometry here. We're talking right angle triangles. That's different. That's different. Well, then answer then. What's the answer? And he couldn't answer. It's like, okay, fine. Right,
I don't know how you don't know what. That's bad. That's really bad.
Basic. That's really basic.
Yeah.
That's really 180 for the audience, by the way. That's really basic.
And that's 180 degrees, not radians. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I know what it is in radians. What is it in radians? I don't know. I think it actually varies in radians. Does it vary in radians? I don't know. I have to go look back to fucking trigonometry. Anyway.
Yes. Let's continue.
State healthcare system.
We're not a socialist healthcare system, are we?
No, there is no socialist healthcare system.
Hang on, dude.
What world do you guys live in?
You say
the real world.
So, give you an example of a socialized healthcare
Steven,
system.
are you saying that the United Kingdom would not consider NHS?
There it is. There it was.
All right,
Listening ears matter.
what we're going to do is we are going to hear from CJ because he has been gone for several minutes.
I'm CJ now.
For
Yeah, that's fine.
10 minutes.
Yes,
So,
you are.
CJ, we'll give you a chance.
And
to
CJ
jump
is
in
you.
if you know where the conversation is, and then we are going to kick it back over to the socialist.
And
after that. So,
he
CJ,
has
the
to be
floor
so
is
nice. He's
yours.
just giggly. He's like, oh, yeah, please.
Well, so
Please.
my understanding of what the conversation got is a little disjointed just because of the drop there. So I do apologize for that. But I guess one thing that I would just want to suggest, because, so we have I know you guys are going back and forth on healthcare. So the numbers of, what's going on in the British healthcare system is not something I'm particularly familiar with, but I do know some different comparisons of the government operating something here in the United States versus companies operating something privately here in the United States. And those tend to virtually always be, more beneficial on the side of private. For example, private education is well known to be much better than public education. FedEx is something that people use well before they're going to use the postal service.
That was something that I was kind of annoyed that I didn't jump in.
Yeah.
When he said that private schools are better than public schools, I felt like saying the same thing as I had basically just said to Maddox, which was like, but yeah, CJ, tell them why. But the thing about it is, he doesn't know why. Because he like hasn't looked into sociology like at all. So basically what it is like for public schools, they are funded by the property taxes in the local area. But like if the area is like downtrodden or is like, or was redlined at a certain point in a history, like the property taxes there like aren't worth shit. So there's not enough money going into the schools, so that's why the public schools are not as good as private. Yeah, but like he doesn't fucking know that though.
Yeah, they're not properly funded. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing with the USPS is the USPS, I'm pretty sure it's not considered a company, but if you were to like measure it as one and measure its profits, it's like 2 or 3 times more profitable than FedEx and UPS. Like more people still used the USPS than FedEx or UPS. So he's just wrong there. He had said something else, and that is I got on that. I should have commented on that, but yeah.
Yeah, it was like kind of just like I didn't want to be like constantly like over talking or interrupting or anything else like that. Like, but It was just yeah, I just didn't want to do that, and like it was something that was kind of in the like Mathpig. What the fuck is going on with your camera thingy?
That's
That's
not
not
Math Big. That's
trippy.
Guy Fox.
That is trippy.
But one more thing I wanted to add really quickly is that the USPS is one of the most successful programs run by our government. Not the most, but one of the most. Like there's actually a lot of programs that our government runs here. The food stamp program, USPS, public education is actually pretty strong. The problem is that a lot of the success is being reduced because of the sabotage of the systems by the Republican Party at the behest of their corporate donors who want to see these programs privatized so that they can create companies in those industries and absorb the profits from it. That's why the USPS, their success or their efficiency and productivity has been going down a bit. It's because they've been sabotaged by the Republican Party. Same thing with public education. Same thing with social programs. They're cutting the funding.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something that had kind of come up in both the live chat. So like basically Kevin was like monitoring the live chat like as it was happening and stuff like that. And he was also kind of posting in and stuff like that. But it was something that came up in the like actual comments that are on the video and in the live chat, which was like, you know, why isn't Stephen talking that much? Because and look, I even including the fact that CJ left for like 10 minutes to take like a Mondo Duke, even including that, like I spoke the least. And I know that I spoke the least, but I did that for a very specific reason, because having debated Smokey and Maddox before, I know that if you just give them enough rope, they will hang themselves. So John just kept talking and talking and talking and talking.
And getting everything wrong.
And then what happened is I would kind of come in, or Leo did at some points, but my goal or my, idea was to come in right at the very, very end and just swat aside his entire argument. And so he would rant for like 5 minutes, right? And I would come in at like, take me 30, 40 seconds, swat aside his entire argument, and then he would have to start all over again. But that's the point, is that it makes him look like he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, which of course he doesn't. But then the audience realizes that he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. So that's why I did that. That's why I didn't talk that much, because I was just waiting for the kind of linchpin to drop or to fit in, or whatever the phrase is.
Yeah, Maddox is not a good debater at all.
No, all he does is call you an idiot, a moron, or
a dumbass, or some stupid
dumbass, or
like
some variation of that, and then just go on to say nonsense. Like if he was to go up against like anybody who, okay, could you imagine?
This is the guy who goes by logical, whatever the
plausible, probable, yeah.
Yeah, he turned up the other night, didn't he? That's the first time I've seen him on my channel now, but I've had no interactions with this fool.
Yeah, and honestly, Mathpig, look, if it was ever a situation, like, I know that I said this about Music Analyst, but not even necessarily that I'm saying that you would, but just in the, like, purely hypothetical, if you ever did bring Maddox into the stream, you can just put me backstage and just leave me there for the entire time he's there. I'm just not going to interact.
The fuck, man, from what I've seen of him, this is why I've had no interactions with him, because he seemed like there would be no. Everybody would generally get one at the pigsty, but this guy is not even going to survive through one. Music Analyst, as you've seen, after you talk to him for a wee while, he's a bit of crack. Yeah. He's mad as a hatter, but he's
absolutely.
But he's decent about it. You know, he'll have a chat with you, and he's open to listening to you rather than taking his turn to speak. This cunt, no, he'll not be there.
But what were you going to say, Stephen? Something about can you imagine something about?
Oh, yes. Right. Could you imagine if Maddox was to be paired up against this fine, sexy specimen of a beast down here.
I would
Could
love to see
you
that.
imagine
Dude,
the bloodbath that would be?
Vosh, in all of his sexy manliness and his just massive manliness, would bend Maddox over and just destroy his rear end.
That was a little bit too rapey, and we don't condone that on this channel.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a really weird sort of sandwich going on now with Cider above and Leo below, and the two of you creaming over this guy.
okay, dude, Vosh is just a really, really good defender of socialism.
Yeah.
Like Maddox would throw something out, but see, when Vosh throws insults, he doesn't call you stupid or he'll just be like, he'll do it like subtle. He'll just be like, well, I mean, sure, I might be a moron, but at least, you know, I understand what the fuck I'm talking about, and I'm not a fucking brainworm-infested troglodyte. Did you hear me when I said that? Like, what troglodyte brainworm-infested bullshit did I just hear?
I did, yeah. As soon as you said fucking troglodyte, I just had to laugh. It was just funny. Anyway, rather than talking about shit that's going to fucking come up in this little bit anyway,
you gotta watch.
I don't want to kind of watch like the whole fucking Q&A. It's just kind of getting up into the Q&A, and I think there's like one or two questions that come up that's like pretty good at the start. So we'll just kind of we'll just keep going.
You know, and so on and so forth. So I don't understand why we would expect it. I mean, Uber versus public transportation, right? I don't know why we would expect it to be different in a situation where the government now controls healthcare. And by the way, I would point out too that I definitely do not want the government to have control over healthcare because, frankly, I don't trust people. Right? There's been plenty of people all throughout the Twitter sphere, some of them being elected officials, who have said very plainly that in their care, certain folks would be dead because they don't like them. And that is a fear, not just from like left wing or right wing or anything like that. That's
no idea what it's talking about.
Evil, and as a result, I do not actually want
we need to just go back through this
control over my healthcare and
every 5-10 minutes.
Say anything about whether or not they think I should or should not have healthcare.
Your face every 5-10 minutes, your expressions, the way you just put yourself across. Like, you could make a calendar.
Look at the freeze frame right there.
Yeah, Stephen the Thinker.
He's just like.
That is literally a Stephen the Thinker pose. Oh my god.
Yeah, and Maddox is trying to pull it off, and it looks more like where are my fingers?
Look at me. He's like, does my finger smell like poop? No, that can't be poop.
Oh. All right, let's keep going.
Because of what I may or may not believe or do with my private time. I kind of like the incentive of some guy being like, okay, well, it doesn't really matter what I feel about this guy. He gives me money, and so therefore I'm going to take care of him. It makes more sense to me. You know what I mean? It gives me a little bit more faith in the system, shall we say?
So well, can I ask you a quick question? I wanted to ask it earlier, but you had I don't know if you like went like to the bathroom or something, but and this is a little bit off topic. I just really quickly. So the definition that both you and Maddox cited for socialism comes from not the Oxford English Dictionary, but from Oxford Languages, which is not the same thing as the Oxford English Dictionary. And from the same source, this is the definition of statism, a political system in which the state has substantial centralized control over social and economic affairs. Are you arguing that that is a form of socialism?
Most socialism that has actually been tried is absolutely statist.
Okay, so then you would agree that it is statism, not socialism.
The two are not necessarily contradictory.
They literally are. They literally are.
No, they are not.
They literally are, and this is
why.
They
literally aren't, though.
One, the state owns the means of production. In the other, it is democratized amongst the workers.
You did not know the definition that we shared here that you...
That, Leo, I think was the easiest trap that I've ever... That is not a good freeze frame on me, I'm sorry.
Just said was...
That was the that was the easiest trap that I think has ever been sprung.
Well, it was.
You know
like,
what I mean?
They're not the same thing. Like, it's either statism or it's socialism, but it's not both. That's like arguing that you can be like socialist and capitalist. No, you can't.
Yeah.
If the government owns the economy, then the workers don't, because the government does. So it's not socialism. And after this, I was just like, yeah, these guys just don't know what socialism is. Because he was trying to
well,
equate it like where the government like owns public parks. Like if we did that with the economy, that's socialism. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, that's not how any of this works. I mean, as if they didn't already prove, as if they have no idea what the fuck socialism actually is. I mean,
and then CJ said he's read Das Kapital. I'm willing to grant that he might have read parts of it, but like I have it in PDF. I actually have read manuscripts from the first volume. The whole thing, all 3 volumes put into one, I'm looking at the PDF right now, is 887 pages long. And it's not one of these things that you just like read and then it's like, oh man, I completely perfectly understand Marx. Like you have to read it and like consider how it's supposed to be interpreted, which economists still debate to this day. So I mean, Communist Manifesto, everybody's read the Communist Manifesto, and if you haven't, you should. But in terms of like reading all of Das Kapital, I don't want to say this because I like the principle of charity, but I'm struggling to believe that he's read the whole fucking thing. I should have asked him how long it is. Like, okay, you've read all of Das Kapital. How long is it? But I fucking did.
Probably wouldn't have come up with the answer. All right, okay, let's keep going.
The legit definition is not democratized.
I didn't
it is common ownership.
It was
Okay, Encyclopedia Britannica.
I did actually
social and economic doctrine that calls for
can
public
I respond,
rather
please?
than
Can I
private
respond?
ownership or control of property and national resources.
Yeah,
This is
these are
Encyclopedia
not
Britannica,
these
okay?
are
Which
not
is
like
literally-
actual sources. Like if you want to know
Encyclopedia Britannica is not a source.
on
Get the
socialism,
hell out
no.
of here! You
just like
can't-
I've read,
not-
I've read numerous
and
things
hang
from
on,
them
so-
on advanced theoretical physics, and they get the definition
Okay,
completely
yeah, anyway,
fucking
so-
wrong. When I look for the
So
definition,
Encyclopedia Britannica is
I
wrong.
go to the people that actually
Wow, okay.
invented it, like Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, who I'm assuming you don't even fucking know, and probably haven't read a single goddamn syllable of any work done. So if you read Socialism, Utopian and Scientific by Friedrich Engels, you will learn what socialism is. They just get it fucking wrong because they don't know what it means. They're utilizing colloquialized definitions, not the actual one as laid out by the people who invented what the ideology is, who are a source
So going
greater
back
than
to
anything
national health,
you could ever
going back to
provide.
national health, some from Vox.
But really quickly, the definition
the
definition he gave doesn't even disagree. Public ownership, yeah, by the workers. Like they're just trying to mince words because they don't know what socialism is so much, if that makes sense, that they can't even tell that their definitions don't actually agree with what they think socialism is. But yeah, like Socialism, Utopian and Scientific by Friedrich Engels, that is the book that pretty much lays out what socialism is, what it's supposed to be. Definitely.
I know that this is very off topic, but it's just in this particular freeze frame that I'm just after realizing, and this is not even meant to, because he was a little bit more kind of, like charitable, or, he was a little bit more kind of more productive than Maddox was. Not that that's necessarily a high bar, but can we all okay? And I do kind of feel bad about this because it is just kind of straight up bullying right now. But can we all just take a moment just to look at how fucking ghoulish CJ Cox looks right now?
I was looking as well.
Look at that cunt's eyeballs. Like,
He's at least made an effort to come on, Leo was wearing your shirt that you wore last night, but at least he's did try and wear something a bit nice. The two of them have just turned up looking like tramps.
yeah, like this is something that me and Kevin were only kind of talking about earlier, because both of us watched it back, which was just how many layers of clothing does CJ need when he's in his own home? He has
It's
a
cold.
t-shirt, a
It's
hoodie,
cold.
and a jacket on. That's
It's
3
cold.
layers.
Homeless problem. It's,
He
Yeah,
dresses
but,
like
that's,
that. in all his
but
debates.
you're inside, you're at home, turn the fucking heating on, light the fire, do something to make the house a little bit warmer. It's like, I don't know. It was like, that was a whole thing, but yeah, no, it's actually kind of freaking me out at just how fucking ghoulish he looks right there.
But yeah, I did want to say that everything that I just said, maybe I'm just stroking myself off here, but that was kind of like a smackdown on what Maddox said. Like, yeah, you're getting from the Encyclopedia Britannica. I'm getting my definition from the people who invented the thing we're trying to fucking define.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, no, that was like, if you can start a rant that shuts up Maddox, like, you've won in some measurable way. You know what I mean? Like, he just stopped responding or stopped trying to interrupt at a certain point. Yeah, like that's when you know that you've won.
Yep.
All right, let's burst out. I don't think there's too much kind of left of it,
At
but
the center of the UK system sits the National Health Service. Founded in 1948, the NHS goes beyond single-payer healthcare into true socialized medicine. The government doesn't just pay for services, it also runs hospitals, employs doctors. The system is financed through taxes. Everyone is covered, and supplemental private insurance is rare, unlike in, say, France. I mean, everybody who's actually living in the real world, not this idyllic fantasy world
Oh,
that you're living in, recognizes that this is what actually happens in the real world when it comes to socialist policies.
oh, sorry, that was actually you. I'm so sorry, Leo.
What?
You just said, wait, like, what? I was listening to that. I thought it was actually you.
Oh.
I thought it was you wanting to say something. I'm so
That's
sorry.
fucking
Most companies
hilarious.
utilize. You mean what happens in the real world is that the vast majority, like literally, if we take the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which is an organization of the 35 most advanced countries on the planet, one of them does not have a universal healthcare system. Can you tell me what country that is?
Probably us, but what do you think?
Yeah, and every other country has significantly better healthcare outcomes with significantly less money being invested than we do. Why do you think that is?
So a lot of those outcomes.
How many sources do you want on that,
Let's go look at
How many sources do you want?
So
How many sources?
Hang on, are you going to let me respond? So, are you actually going to argue that these like third world
This is
countries
beautiful.
that have socialized medicine, are you actually going to claim
Pause
they
it right
have
here.
higher
This is
survival rate?
I mentioned the OECD and said how it's the 35 most advanced nations, and he goes to third world countries.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh my god! Listening ears, Maddox. Listening ears.
Yeah, you know, he needs to get himself a set of listening ears, you know?
Yeah.
Really, really does.
For prostate cancer, for breast
you-
cancer, for the
Oh my
variety
God.
of diseases. Are you actually going to make that argument?
Right here.
Troglodyte brainworm infested shit I'm hearing. I literally mentioned the OECD. Why are you mentioning third
Okay,
world?
so let's
And
hang on.
Oh
Just
my
answer the question. Just answer the question. Do they yes or no?
That's not relevant to what I
Just
said.
answer
Why
the
would I-
question, yes or no.
Why would I answer it when it's not relevant?
Because
to the
I'm
point
asking.
that
I'm about to make it relevant.
Not
We are
understand
going
how
to-
I'm about to make it relevant.
We're shortly going to
How?
go into.
So what you're saying is you're admitting
Leo,
that
I
you're
don't
going to.
think you understand.
No, I'm actually going to say let's look at the comparison between the
You
United
guys
Kingdom.
just don't seem to get it. So shut up for a second.
Fucking James. I love it when he does
We're
that.
going to go
When he
into
grows
Q&A
balls.
shortly. I do want to give CJ a chance to respond, and then we'll give Steven a chance to respond. Thank you guys. Appreciate your gusto, to say the least.
Yeah,
So,
appreciate
no
your
worries, nothing
gusto.
personal,
Shut the
just I
fuck
do have
up,
to pick
people.
once
Let
in a
me
while.
moderate the
So, we're going to give it
show.
over to CJ quick, and then we're going to give it to Steven quick, and then we do have to go into the Q&A because we do want to let you know, folks. First of all, Maddox is jumping in with like even
Okay,
now.
just stop.
The Q&A where I'm sure we'll hear.
So
Here we go.
so I would say a couple things. So the first thing I would say is if we want to narrow this down to Marxist socialism, because Marx, unlike what was said here, is not the inventor of socialism. Him and
He
Engels,
literally
the
is.
Communist Manifesto and
Yeah,
Das
kind
Kapital
of is.
are definitely what we base the majority of modern socialist thought off
That's what
of.
laid it out.
But for example, Thomas More's Utopia was considered to be an example of
Which
socialism.
came after.
And the Mazda from the 5th century was considered to be an example of socialism, so on and so forth. So
None of those
it
were
isn't
socialism.
actually true that Marxism is an encapsulation of all socialism.
Venezuela.
If we do want to say that we're actually going to have this argument based off of what Marx's ideals are, well, Marx wouldn't actually consider himself a socialist. He would consider himself to go farther and be a communist. He considered socialism to be a transitionary state where he could get to a point where there was indeed no state and, of course, no cash and things of that nature.
Like, none
which
of
I
this
don't
was
believe
the
is what
argument
you're
that I was
actually arguing
making.
for
No.
here today. If I'm not mistaken, you do.
And that's why I
actually
didn't address
believe
it,
in the
because
necessity
I didn't want to
of
give
state of
credence to
some
it.
kind and be in market socialism and therefore the existence of cash and things of that nature. So I just want to clarify. I mean, you seem to suggest now that, and by the way, I understand your frustration with people not actually listening to people like Marx and stuff like that. But just to be clear, I have actually read both Das Kapital and Communist Manifesto, as well as a lot of his personal writings.
I know Maddox hasn't. I know for a fact he
I wouldn't call
hasn't.
myself an
Yeah,
expert
he's
by any
doing
stretch of the imagination,
this
but I
sort
do
of thing,
certainly
but
know
no,
the
he
man,
hasn't.
his philosophies and what he felt about things. And you don't seem to be arguing from a Marxist perspective. In fact,
I literally am.
Hear you bring up Marx. That's how you would want to kind of retreat away from Marx in this more market socialist way that you're going. So why now would you be wanting to defend, I guess, that position when that position, his position on socialism, like I said, is as a transitionary state to get to stateless?
I would agree. That's exactly what it is, which is why I advocate for it.
To field the question, we haven't heard a lot from Stephen, and so Stephen, if you're willing to field that question, we'll give you a chance.
Okay, so before I start this, right, I just want to tell, and this is everybody who's here right now. Sorry, I haven't been going back and forth to here at all. I was just going to make sure. I was just want to make sure we hadn't actually got anybody else in the fucking back room. Everybody who is here and everybody who is watching this, watch Maddox's face. Just watch his face.
To answer, otherwise we do have to go into Q&A shortly.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I would just kind of sum up by just saying that, like, you know, it's come up several times that, you know, and just to kind of address something that CJ said, you know, yeah, I do get frustrated when people don't listen to me, Maddox. But you know, like it's this whole thing, you know, it was started off, it was in the opening that, you know, we were wanting to have a debate on healthcare. It never really happened apart from kind of poking jabs. We also said that in a country that was run by the NHS, that there was also a private health insurance company. Yeah, if there's private health insurance companies in a system that is meant to be socialized medicine, that's not socialized medicine.
I literally said they weren't there.
I'm sorry, I'm still
I
talking.
literally said they weren't there.
Look at that, I'm still talking.
Claim I don't listen to you. You literally didn't listen to the exact opposite. I said the exact opposite of what I said.
This is amazing.
Dude, you're a liar. You're a so dumb. Either you're an idiot or you're a liar. Which one is it?
Another minute, and then
He's so mad.
So we got 60 seconds.
He's so buttered.
And
thank you so much,
sorry,
James.
Jonathan. I had to.
Look, he's after muting him.
Look at him go. Okay.
Yeah, look at him go.
Okay,
Triggered
go
little
ahead,
snowflake. Yeah, look, I mean, look, I came here tonight expecting kind of, you know, arguments against socialism, apart from, you know, like what we got was mentions of Venezuela, apart from the fact that you didn't say that it was sanctions by the United States that crippled Venezuela, but that's okay.
Literally.
That you're pushing a narrative. You know, look, I could go on and I could kind of run out the clock. I'm not going to. The last thing that I will say is that I am superly, and I mean superly, surprised that Maddox didn't have to take a week off so we could fundraise for this debate.
Look how fucking mad he is. Look at how mad he is. He wants to kill me right there. He actually wants to kill me. Fuck it.
I love that, Jack. That was so fucking beautiful.
Oh God. You see, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I knew that I had a few of these jobs and stuff like that. I just wasn't like 100% sure, like, where I was going to put them in. And this one came to, like, I had realized that I hadn't said this one, so I was like, no, I'm definitely going to fucking sum this up now by saying this. So
look at my face. It looks like I'm doing a really, really, really shitty, borderline, not even borderline, just straight out creepy job of hitting on a woman at a bar. Like that's my face right there. Oh, yeah, that's funny. I'm sorry. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. You just do.
Oh my God! Look at the anger in that. Look at the anger in that man's eyes. Look at him, like. Okay, there isn't too much more. Like there isn't too much longer.
I'm going to the Q&A, James.
We're going to jump into the Q&A with this first question. Let me just be sure all of you guys are unmuted so you can respond.
And he gets so mad.
We are starting with Sphincter of Doom. It said,
bro, I'm doing a closing statement. You get me?
Like he tells the moderator.
Yeah. Like, okay, so Mathbig, here's a genuine question. If it was you sitting where James is now and somebody told you I'm doing a closing, what would you have said?
You know, go and watch the Darth one. I muted until he screamed and he came back and he was still muted and he kept screaming and he came back and he was still muted. I just ignored him. We're doing questions. You don't want to answer. Shut the fuck up. Leave. Fuck off. I'm done with you. I've had my debate.
But it's literally, it's just, yeah, no, I
No,
don't
I'm
even,
doing
yeah.
a closing statement. I would have been like, yeah, no, you're muted again because you're
So,
not.
yeah, no, you're not. Just, yeah.
And look, even our soldier of science is like he's super confused with all the windows. There's far too much going on. Like there's literally only 5 people on screen, and we've had 9 in Hangouts that look better than this.
Yeah. The left screen is live. What?
I think that's me maybe flickering and doing my
I
thing.
like how looking at
Oh,
it,
yeah.
he put us on the left and them on the right. Like he
Yeah.
actually laid it out.
But you remember I had said that to him, that like, are we going to be like on screen as we are politically? And he was like, oh my god, yeah, that was a good idea, or like something
Yeah.
something on those lines.
Yeah, he didn't realize that. He just did it. He didn't realize that.
I agree. He probably didn't. Either
Probably
that or he like
didn't, probably
changed
didn't,
it
but-
last minute.
Yeah, like very, very, very last minute, because there was like a few minutes of like extra kind of talking and stuff like that, like before we actually like went live and stuff like that. So yeah, like he literally could have just like copied and pasted or whatever and did whatever.
Yeah, he could have done a lot of things to help his production, but
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, you know,
look at CJ's
I think-
face right now.
yeah,
Whose face?
CJ's.
CJ.
He sort of he like that expression is sort of like, damn, that ass looks tasty. That's kind of what that expression is.
I was looking at it going, did you just mess with my mate? I'm going to fight you now.
Oh god. Okay.
Statement.
Let's see. Who did we have start?
Everybody just talked to
Socialist.
me.
So
Except for
I'll
Leo,
give you-
actually,
I'll
'cause
give
it was
you
just
a-
CJ
and me.
give you a
That's why
short
James let me give a
little
short one.
wrap up
Mm.
to draw the threads together, and then we do have to go into the Q&A.
James spends too
So
much time
Stephen
trying to
clearly
appease the
doesn't
guests
actually
to
pay
guarantee
attention
that
to
they'll
what
come
he's saying
back.
too much or expose his ears. He can actually pay attention to what people are actually saying. I literally stated that
Literally.
unlike other countries, the United Kingdom didn't have private insurance. Actually, in the 90s, when Bupa was starting to grow and private insurance was trying to make a stake in the United Kingdom, there was massive government regulation that came into place to block that from actually happening because
It works
there was
quite
so
well
much
in tandem.
delay
Over here,
in
actually,
the-
my mother was on NHS and needed something done. It was going to be a year-long wait. She went privately, paid for it, got the scan that was needed to be done that she had to wait a year for, and then took that back to the NHS and then got moved forward, because the scan was done. They
Yep.
do work quite well in tandem with each other.
Mm. Yeah. I'm not. Look, I'm not going to discount anybody's. Yeah. They do.
There's been
Oh, I-
privatized the
they're
healthcare
not
industry
great.
in the United Kingdom. That's got shut down by the government, ironically. But in the context of this overall conversation, both Leo and Stephen, inside of their emotional talking points that they spew out ad nauseum,
Emotional
this-
talking points, like
Yeah.
facts
So much projection.
and
So
statistics.
much-
Yeah,
and
Maddox
data
massively.
and yeah. Oh my god, so much projection,
Yeah.
Like,
This is the smartest that CJ has looked through the entire debate.
It's true.
like when you bring up Venezuela and Margaret Thatcher in a debate about socialism, you don't get to talk about people having talking points. That's something that you don't get to say anymore. Like you've lost that right. Like you don't have it anymore. Oh, God, right.
Yeah,
they
Soldier of
couldn't actually
Science
listen to the
power cut out. So there was no Smokey.
Yeah, his power cut apparently. Even though apparently it happened 3 hours before the debate was supposed to happen. He only let us know about it 50
An
minutes
hour.
before
An
the
hour
debate was
before,
supposed to happen.
yeah.
Well, in saying
So-
that, he could probably, I'll not hold that against him because I've had my internet go down and had to cancel, and I spent an hour and a half trying to fix it and announced a half hour before. Look, I can't. because I've spent an hour and a half trying to fix it. Now, in saying that, that's the internet, not a power cut. There's nothing that can be done about it. But
you would think that though he would have said like 15 minutes into it, like, yeah guys, my power went out, I'll keep you updated if anything happens. If it gets closer to the debate and I don't think it's going to be back on in time, then I'll let you know that I'm going to have to pull out. But he didn't do that.
Yeah, that's what was kind of not even really suspect about it, but was just kind of like odd, because I know that if that had happened with me, like I would have emailed in like basically the second that it happened. Really, I would have been like, "Look at lads, like this is this is the story. Like power's gone out, nothing really I can do about it. I'll keep us updated, but right now it's not looking great or something like that."
Whose laptop can't last for an hour on battery, or their phone?
Well, I'm assuming Smokey probably has like a desktop computer, so that like when the power goes out, he can't turn it on. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
But who doesn't have a laptop though as well?
That's what I'm thinking. Who doesn't? Like, I have a fucking shitty i3
I have
that I
two.
want to throw out through the window, but
the one I'm on, and then this monster right here.
Yeah, but who doesn't have a laptop? Like, I have the desktop upstairs, but there should always be a backup.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And who doesn't have a smartphone? Who doesn't have a smartphone? He can come on and be iconed on a smartphone. Microphones and smartphones are sometimes even better than mics on laptops.
Yeah. He said he only had 20% battery left on his phone, though.
Yeah. And that when the debate was supposed to happen, he said that he only had like 5. But okay.
All right. Silly fool. Do you have a battery pack, Stephen? I have a battery pack from a phone.
I do have. Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah. Do you? Yeah. Who doesn't?
I don't have a battery pack, but my phone.
You have 2 laptops. You have 2 laptops.
Okay, so yeah, okay. So, okay.
You're only using one. You've got a battery pack for the other.
There's always a way. Mike.
It's Flurf logic. That's just fucking crafty would say.
I don't know. Not too much left. I know I've been saying that for a while now, but genuinely not too much left.
Obviously, don't live in the real world of like actual application of business principles and
your smug fucking face, Steve.
I know, yeah.
Opportunity and
I know.
Changing of the status quo. It's quite
status quo.
Going to
these children grow up.
Jump into the Q&A.
Can I? Because like everybody got to give a final word, but I can literally make it like 20 seconds,
sure,
if not less.
Why not?
It's like
Go
3
ahead.
statements.
Sure, yeah, I thought
socialism
that was
and
just
statism aren't the same
fucking so weak as a moderator. Like,
yeah, but he also like I don't know, like he seemed kind of like annoyed at that request.
Well, yeah, but
like,
CJ
it wasn't as if it was like closing statements that we were doing. It was just a final word by everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, CJ got one. Go ahead.
It was forced upon by Maddox, the final statements. It should have been questions and answers. And you asked for less time than he already slobbered. And he's not giving full attention because he's on his mobile and he's like, fuck it, go on. Sure, I don't give a shit anymore. Sure, who's just in charge of this channel? Go on the fuck. You know, it's pitiful.
And I was actually pretty damn quick. You'll see here.
Oh, yeah, literally.
Laid out what socialism is. There were numerous works after them. Socialism is inherently Marxist, but there are different forms of it. And finally, I was surprised that we didn't get into more of a debate in healthcare. And I was also surprised that my opponents didn't actually address the whole worker cooperative issue, which isn't an issue, or address any of the academic sources I cited.
Next up,
they didn't mention anything on that.
Jump right into the sphincter
Not
of
a
doom
single
strikes first, saying
worker
cooperatives don't scale. The most successful ones require outside investment to grow and remain competitive, i.e., more capitalistic. Capitalism doesn't preclude co-ops.
Well, yeah, I never said that it did. You can have an economy that is entirely market socialist and have outside investments from individuals into worker cooperatives or other worker cooperatives into worker cooperatives. Like that's, like I said, market socialism is socialist and where the economy is democratically controlled by the workers, but it's still, and this is the key part, it preserves market forces and market incentives. How many times did I say that in this debate?
We must go to the next
A
one.
lot.
We have so many questions, you guys. I hate to do this, but Gurmania says, question for all, is there at least one pro to your
he hates to do this because he has to get 3 questions and answers. He then slobbers for 45 minutes after, doesn't he?
Kind of like 4 questions.
Yeah.
If you're able to do it in the most short and pithy way, because we do have a ton of questions.
I mean, in the sense that conservatives are kind of typically in favor of like a smaller government. Yeah, I mean, I don't like that, you know, the Patriot Act is a thing. I don't like the fact that the government can warrantlessly spy on its citizens. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it short and pithy, James, I promise, so I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you.
I would say, well, you know, I would certainly offer respects to my socialist opponents. I personally don't find any redeeming qualities in socialism as an ideology.
But I've read Marx.
I apologize if that's a little harsh, but it's just my opinion.
Gotcha.
I would say that one quality that I would find that would be more beneficial under a capitalist system than a socialist system would be the maximization of profit. So that generally comes to the detriment of the workers through the exploitation of the labor power that they provide to the firm without being equitably benefited from the labor that they are providing.
Gotcha. John?
If you maximize profit, you can pass through more.
He just responded to me. He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't give any.
Yeah. So, the question was, what is a good thing about your opponent's position? But he didn't do that. He's just responding to what you said.
More opportunity to the employee base, like, yeah.
Gotcha.
That doesn't actually.
Thank
happen.
you very much. Next up.
Yeah, that was kind of like as far as I wanted to kind of go in with that. But oh my
I love
God.
that.
Yeah,
that
it's
does
just
actually happen. I love that. I love doing that. I'm sorry. I do. Somebody will say something. It's like, I'm not really interrupting them, but like, they'll say something, well, if you did that and the other, and it's just like, no, that's not true. Like, it's just, you know, kind of under the breath where people can still hear it, but you're not really interrupting them. And then, like, I love it when the people, you'll say something like that, and they'll pause like that after it, but then keep going. And it's just like, yeah, motherfucker.
yeah, it was something that I only kind of noticed actually after after everything had kind of like finished and everything, which was that of all of the points that I made in my opening argument, neither CJ nor Maddox addressed a single one of them.
No, they didn't address anything in either of our opening statements.
Yeah,
nothing.
Not a
Literally
single,
nothing.
not a single point that
That's how
either of
you
us
know
made in our openings.
Yeah, that's how you know that debate's going to be a waste of fucking time. Whenever you make an opening statement and the other person comes in and just ignores it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Should we be surprised? Are we surprised? Will we be surprised? I don't know. I'm not really, at least anyway. You know, I knew that it was going to be like as good as it was going to get, and it wasn't. You know, it's John fucking Maddox, guys. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
Like, you have to adjust the expectations. You know what I mean? And he's been back and forth in the like comment section of the debate with me, like for the last today. And like, I don't know, like he like started kind of borrowing my point of like the whole listening ears thing, and it was just like, nah, dude, like I've already kind of done that. What exactly did he fucking say about the listening ear? I don't know. He tried to make some point and say that I didn't have fucking listening ear. Maddox waited to talk for the entire thing.
Yeah,
that's all he does.
He sat on his phone doing whatever the fuck he was doing and just waited for someone to say his name. He was actively listening for his chances. Stephen just lifted his fucking phone and Leo was on his phone.
Yeah, this is it. And then you said my name as well. That's it. That's what he did. In like just not listening. Like,
that's okay. There's only 2 people watching and one of them's me. Like, so it doesn't matter. Like, oh no, there's 6. Sorry, there's 6 people watching.
I was going to say, excuse the shit out of you.
Look at you showing up PS5 box in the background and your PS. Is your dick not small enough, Stephen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just PS5 box right there. Just, proper grip. And then the actual thing then up above. Where is it there? The actual thing then up above it.
Yeah.
I clean my room out. My wardrobe's not big enough for the box, so it just has to stay there.
No, I'll agree with you in that. I still have the box for my motherboard and the TV stand.
Dude, I have it's the laptop box under it. I don't really know why. I just keep boxes. Like, I don't like. I'm gonna swing back. Like, there is the last couple of phones. Like, on this little shelf right here. There's the last couple of phones that I've had, and I have like the wireless earbuds. I have my Galaxy Watch box. I just like keeping boxes. I don't really know why.
And I have a bag in the attic with a Samsung D500 on it with some pictures of me as a goth and all like that I haven't thrown out that I need to recharge and take off. Like, we don't want to keep everything, but we do sometimes.
Are we boring you, Leo?
No, I was just reading some of the comments. I'm listening. I was just reading some of the comments on.
Yeah, that's something that I would
just go to say, like.
I would be interested to see some of the comments on this video.
On this video?
No, not on this video.
Oh, on
the actual fucking debate.
Dude, how is Apple going to design a stylus specifically for their devices?
Sure, on screen, Jesus, production.
All right. There is no. I don't know why you're okay.
Well, I'm not going to lift my
very
phone.
Aggressive.
Well, I'm not going to lift my phone and look for the comments and have the three people on screen all looking at their phone quietly rather than sharing the comments with the actual audience. I'm trying to help, man. I'm trying to help.
I know you're only trying to help, man. It's great,
Yeah, I saw some of the comments. Honestly, there's a fair amount of criticism on either side, but it does seem like more people are pointing out that Maddox just was kind of stupid. CJ at least made an attempt to make arguments, but that me and Steven seemed to do a pretty good job. I think we did.
Yeah, I mean, it's... yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it was... Yeah, it's pretty balanced, but... Someone said that Maddox is looking like he's getting fat. I don't think he's looking like he's getting fat. Like, I don't know. He looks about the same weight as he was the last time that I debated him. That was last year. So
every time somebody says Maddox now, I'm gonna think of that face that he made after you made the jab about the fundraiser. I can't get over that.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's just it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Fucking rage in that look. Like, he was fucking mad after that one.
Sure, I don't give a fuck, man.
I don't either, but it's funny. It's really fucking funny.
Well, look, I think that we did a much better job than I was kind of not even that anticipating, but that I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would. Just because I got to trigger Maddox a lot, and it's just fun for everybody.
Triggering Maddox is always a good time.
I'm not saying that that MathPig doesn't run a quality channel. I'm not saying I'm not listening to him. It's just
No, I've left. I've just got up and left. I'm gone now.
Well, I mean, your floaty head is gone, so could be.
I was checking to see if there was noise. That's another reason why I'm down the stairs using this. Is the daughter is asleep up the stairs, so.
No problem. No problem. Oh, yeah. Like, I enjoyed it much more than I thought that I would. There wasn't a single argument of ours that they kind of debunked or anything else like that. So,
I agree. I thought that in my intro I laid out a pretty reasonable case for let's do socialism in the form of worker co-ops. Here's the evidence that worker co-ops are very successful. And just crickets. Abso-fucking-lute crickets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one thing that I kind of learned from yesterday's debate, as if I kind of didn't already know, because I almost always stream in this room. But what I learned about myself is, if I'm sitting in a chair that can move, I will fucking move it.
Yep.
So I was in like a swivelly chair for the debate
And I
last night, and I was
swivel it
just
back and forth.
constantly just going side to side, just constantly. I don't know what it is. What if I'm in, I like to be in motion.
Yep, I noticed.
I don't know what it is.
You need to get a fidgeter or something to spin. Man, they got me like the ball thing for spin. You set it on the table and it spins. It's got like a waterfall sort of effect on the side of it and all. It's good to just keep yourself busy.
Yeah, I am a little bit of a fidgeter. I'm kind of wanting to constantly be doing something.
I find I do it
kind
more
of
when I go on camera. I do it more when you go on camera because you don't want to be seen as sitting still. I looked up, that's why I went Avatar, because I looked up and I'd been still for like 3 minutes and it's like not moving.
I'm usually always like moving or fucking with something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, was there any other kind of like final thoughts or something like that on like how it went, or like last opinions and stuff like that? That's not just for everybody here that's in the live chat as well, just kind of
should have had it on a different channel, maybe.
Well, there's this channel out there. I think it's called Math Pig or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
There.
Even shit for like 2 weeks, but yeah.
like I said, I would like to debate a music analyst on a flat Earth on your channel. I don't know if you know a way of contacting him. If you got an email or something, throw it my way.
Yeah, I have his email, man. That's no bother. Wednesday nights seems to be. I've got another one coming up this Wednesday. This Wednesday we've got Untangelo versus Brainbug.
That's going to be fucking epic.
Mm-hmm.
So I will try and keep it decent enough. I don't even like calling them debates. I keep putting in the top left-hand corner a formal discussion because it's literally opening statements and a back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm literally just there to just keep the peace and keep it on topic. As a moderator should do, James. But I've got that coming, and that should be fun. Set that up. I'll send you his email, Leo. Tweet at me. I'll send it to you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I kind of pointed out like basically everything that I had thought. Kevin thoroughly enjoyed it. He was saying that because he was just constantly monitoring the live chat, and it kind of seemed to him like he from like watching it and the audience's like enjoyment and interaction with it like seemed to be kind of higher than like the past debates that I've done on MDD. So it was kind of more positive from that perspective. I reached out to Michael, who I had been tag teamed with before on MDD. Yeah. For his thoughts on it, he said, most importantly, Maddox is a dick. He said it was hard to watch them talk past you. They were tearing down points that you weren't making, and that
they did that a lot.
Yeah, and that basically was a dishonest tactic. So, Untangelo will be debating on MathPig's channel on Wednesday. So
Wednesday,
yes,
time, which will be 6
Wednesday.
p.m.
What?
6 Eastern.
6 Eastern, yeah.
6
I did
Eastern.
tweet 5:30, but what do you call Brian's working to 6. So either we have a half-hour quick interview with Untangelo where I'll stab myself and not be available for the debate, or we move the debate to 11 o'clock. So it'll be 6 p.m. Eastern.
Sounds good. I will be watching that one.
Oh, I'll definitely be watching that one, man. Definitely.
I already know how this is going to play out. All Untangelo is going to do is run his irreducible complexity. That the cell is so complex, it's a literal machine, and it's a factory, and that's like his only argument.
Oh, what's the other one that he uses? Would you expect a tornado to go through a junkyard and make a fully functioning
they're just
Ferrari?
watchmaker arguments. That's what they are. They're watchmaker arguments.
Yeah.
I think the last time we did that in an open mic, I had forgotten that I wasn't muted and just went, oh, fuck, here he fucking goes again. But he still comes back, and he comes to a lot of streams, and he will do his wee fucking spiel at the start. We'll time him out, and then he'll come back and shut up. So I'll give him credit for at least hanging about and making the effort,
Yeah, well, he's like one of the only, if not the only, like Christian or creationist in that whole group. Like SFT rarely goes to anybody else's channels. Maddox just does not. Praise doesn't.
Apart from Math Pigs, what date was this? What day was it, Math Pig? That
Wednesday.
Maddox
Friday,
ended up in your
Wednesday.
No, the
it
day
was
that
Wednesday.
Maddox.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Maddox has heard of me now. Woo.
Yeah. Maddox was in Math Pig's
One
live
comment.
chat, but that's probably because Music Analyst was there, though.
Yeah, well, because I
Music
saw him.
Analyst, Smokey. The next day, Smokey and Music Analyst had a hangout and talked about the Bible for an hour.
Oh God.
Yeah, Maddox showed up and he made one comment, and then I made a comment back, and I didn't see anything after that. And David,
Yeah.
Neff
He
how's it
dipped
going,
out after
David?
that. How you doing, Neff? Yeah, he made one comment and then just dipped out. Like he just didn't.
Like a little bitch.
He didn't do.
As,
Yes, exactly.
a
Very
thing-
much like a little bitch.
One thing that might be happening in the future is if anyone here has heard of Michael Tellinger, I did email him last year and he said he would do an interview after October, and I caught him in a live chat premiere. Michael Tellinger is one of the people who is a regular on Ancient Aliens, where stones being banged together through sound waves built the pyramids. Stitchin knows everything and is correct. He's from South Africa. Excuse me. He's
dear
from
God,
South
Cole.
Africa, and what used to be used, I think the mainstream science says that they're paddocks for animals, these circular rings of rocks. He's convinced they're free energy sources that the aliens used, and charges people to come see where Anki turned us into humans from what we were. So he's agreed to maybe come on, and we're emailing back and forth. So that could be an interesting chat. Think Richard Madsen on acid and charges people with a certain accent. He also has been given a new show on the Gaia Network. So he has his own show on the Gaia Network now as well. I think that could be.
Gaia Network. That's.
I've been following this guy for maybe 6 or 7 years for entertainment value because of the shit that he spews. And I was like, fuck it, I'll email him. And he said yes. And then I seen him in a live chat and he was like, sure. I was like, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Everybody's going to hate me, but the after party could be fantastic.
Yeah, well, look, if you're bringing people in for an after party, man, as always, I'll fucking be there. So
I might.
Should be entertaining anyway.
It depends on how shocked I am from all the stupid that'll be spewed in that discussion. By the way, for David Neff, is there any way you could tweet me what Matt Slick's Discord ID is? I'm assuming it's something # some number. I want to get a hold of him because I want to set up a naturalism versus theism debate with him on your channel. So if you know how to
Matt Slick's Discord contact details as well, if that's the way he works. I could have a few people I wouldn't mind putting up against him either.
Yeah, I really want to have a naturalism versus theism debate with him. I honestly think that me and Matt Slick could have a pretty decent discussion, though.
I would say.
I've had some small exchanges
Matt
with him, and he's been I've had a couple of small exchanges with him, and he's been fairly respectful in them. So, I mean,
he comes across as respectful enough. He's still a fucking douche.
I mean, I do agree with that. Yeah, he's not a Maddox, though.
No,
people are
nobody's
fools.
a Maddox apart
No,
from
them
Maddox
people are
himself.
just fools. They are. They're trolls. They're posed. They're. The guy that was on my channel the other night that I had a supposed debate with on logic proving God basically was, if there's proto-stars, then considering gravity supernatural, God's supernatural, therefore God must exist. If I am stealing him correctly, I think I am. Bullshit. He attacked the moderator, Jefferson Spatchcock, as soon as we went off and wanted to debate him there and then. They're now doing that in 60 Minutes over in Jeff's channel. Jeff is going to debate Philip
No
Armand
way.
in 60 Minutes over in Jefferson Spatchcock's channel.
Shit, I don't know if I'll be able to catch that. I might. It starts at 6. Well, it'd be 7:30. You said in 60 minutes, in an hour? Yeah, that starts at 7:30 my time. Vosh is, before his debate, he's going to be debating with a Nazi for an hour. and then is hopping on MDD. So I might watch like the first half hour of that, and then the first half hour of Jeff's debate with Philip, and then head over to MDD.
I still will say that I'm not a big fan of Vosh now because he's his audience mainly, and the two of you nearly creamed over him. But his kill stream, that time he was on kill stream, is still one of my top 10 all-time YouTube favorite streams. He really did take that Nazi fucker and the Australian Nazi fucker, which was hilarious, drunk Australian Nazi fucker, which was even better, and put him back in his place. I thought was fantastic.
For everyone who is in the live chat, that is the link to Jefferson Schwarzkopf's video that is going to be happening in roughly an hour. A little bit. Is it an hour?
An hour and 5 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes.
So it's only scheduled for 1. It's 12:30 now. Sorry for the times, people. Yeah? No? Am I wrong in saying that?
I don't.
Hold on.
Let me go to the link.
It's live in a half an hour, man.
How long have we been talking? When I first looked, it said 70 minutes. Has it been moved forward?
Yeah, it says 7
I don't
o'clock
know.
p.m. my time, 30 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Sorry. I
Okay.
looked at it whenever it first was posted, so half an hour. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yes. So that link, click on that. Half an hour's time, we will be listening to several accounts of Matter, and we'll be hearing that several times. So if you want to hear an Aussie saying Matter in the most bizarre way that I think any of us have ever heard the word being pronounced, then head over there and you'll see, Jeff. I can only imagine doing a superb job knocking down that particular tree of bullshit. So
Jeff is going to be fantastic at it, isn't he? Like,
oh yeah.
what did you think, just before we end, what did you think of his moderation for his very first moderation ever? I
think he
thought
did
maybe
good.
Yeah, I think he did good. I didn't actually know that was his first time ever.
fantastic. As a moderator status, there was once or twice he did ask questions. He should have fucking texted me and told me to ask them rather than him asking it. But other than that, I think he was fucking brilliant. Like,
Yeah. No. He was very, very good. I actually didn't think that it was his first time doing it. I would have thought that like he'd have modded before.
no, never did. Dave wasn't feeling too well, and Dave let me know about 2 hours before the debate. Awful decent of him,
See,
and he was
look,
supposed to moderate.
You see, Smokey, that's what you're supposed to fucking do. Anyway. Okay, guys. Much kind of a shorter stream by my standards anyway. Only an hour and 20 minutes, as apart from, 4 hours. So, until I'm going to say Wednesday, because probably I've already said now on MDD that I stream twice a
You're
week.
not streaming Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm streaming on
Shit, no,
Tanzania.
I'm not streaming Wednesday, am I? Of course I'm not streaming Wednesday. That'll be the fucking debate night. No, okay, so...
Well, here, I'll say this, Stephen. If Brian doesn't want to host the after party, we'll host the after party here for a change.
Okay,
Who doesn't want to host it?
Brian being the other
Brian.
person.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Because, sometimes you just can't be arsed hosting yourself, but you'd want to be on it. And I don't want to do the debate and the after party, straight through, because I want to go to fucking bed at one stage. So I have to get up now at 6:30 for the new job. So
oh shit. Yeah, well, we will give Brian kind of first reserve on an after party, but if he doesn't want to do one himself, then that's no problem. I have no problem hosting it. So
it'll probably be 12 to 1 o'clock. So it'll still be early enough, but it gives me the ability, if I'm tired, to fuck out and leave.
Yeah, because you can't really do that on your own stream. So yes, as we had said, the link to Jeff's video that is going in just under a half hour, that is in the live chat. Everybody stop by there for what I can only imagine is going to be a beautiful smackdown. Join us Wednesday for a debate over on MathPig's channel. Leo, have you got anything coming up?
Next Thursday, I might do it earlier, but probably next Thursday I will be releasing the second installment in my Dr. Eigenstate Explain series, where I explain what wave function collapse actually means and I explain how consciousness has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Cool. I love the way that Matt Big, I'm literally just like stealing your whole like work around the room and tell us what you have going up. But you know, there we go.
Man, that's YouTube. You're not stealing that. That's a thing. It's called shilling. It even has a fucking name. It's like, look, have you seen sandwiches? You give me a sandwich and I come up with sliced bread. Stephen, you're so behind it.
Oh, that's funny. I went to Philip Amon's channel and I found a debate that he had with Physically Debunked, who's a PhD student in cosmology. So I'm gonna try to watch a little bit of that before Jeff goes live. This is gonna be interesting.
And supposedly there's a video out there where he paid T-Jump $50 to actually debate T-Jump.
Yeah, no, he did. He did. Yeah. And I asked T-Jump
go off
in his chat.
and because there's no point. I'm just gonna ramble on, but just end.
No problem. Thank you for coming, everybody. We'll talk to you in the next video.
Bye.